All right, so we're currently at a sim racing spot. We're going to simulate like a F1 race. We just picked out the track. We're actually going to do the Baku, Azerbaijan track in F1. Let's head inside and start racing. Bro, isn't it so crazy that I'm in a Baku Athletics tee, racing F1 in Baku? How do I put this thing in reverse? Bro, this shit has crazier haptics than I thought. Bro, this track looks exactly like what it looked like when I was actually there. Let's see if I can see the hotel I was staying at. It might be this right here. I remember walking here too. There's like, I think here. Yeah. All the restaurants were like over there. That's where I usually went to have like dinner, was in that street. Bro, I remember driving through here in a cab like the day after the race, or like 2 days after the race. It was open, so you could like drive through it. This is surreal. We were sitting right here on this corner. Yeah. Bro just died because he was reliving memories. I ate there. I stay in this hotel. The racers actually stayed in the hotel over there, and I think it was the Marriott. Yo, you low-key get nauseous from this shit.
Really?
Yeah. Bro. I was staying at this hotel. When you went down to the lobby, you could literally stand next to the track, and you would just see these cars just going by, so you couldn't even see them. There was a window from my hotel room through which I could see this part right here, which is also one of the hardest turns in the race. 2-3 days after the race, I actually walked this part of the track with my brother. Then we went up here into this castle, you know, and got some souvenirs and stuff. It was really nice. I think this is the longest straight in the Grand Prix. Okay, it's low-key starting to feel like I'm really in the race. Like after a while, you don't notice that it's computer graphic when you're in it. When you hit flow state, it's kind of like you're actually in a car. Cause this shit, like the movements feel so real. This turn was all I was seeing in the race because of where I was seated. The speed at which you saw these cars come in was insane. You can't get that on camera. You have to really see it in real life. It's so different. Cause you have the straight, right? The longest straight in the Grand Prix. And then at the end of that straight, they all have to like rapidly brake. So you see how fast the car can lose speed and then accelerate after that. The G-forces in it must be crazy when that happens. How long have I been an F1 fan? You know, my stepdad used to be heavy into F1, so I think every Saturday he'd be watching F1 on the TV, and I would just kind of like watch along sometimes, but it wasn't really that interesting to me. I generally find watching sports very boring because I'd rather be the one doing it. I recently got into it because after I was invited to Azerbaijan, when you see the race in real life, it's so different and it kind of leaves an impression on you, and to see like all the other shit that goes on around the event, that kind of inspired me in a sense and made me more interested in the sport. And that's actually a fun fact, but I went to the same high school that Max Verstappen went to in the Netherlands. He was just never there. He was always like training. He was allowed to do that. I think we had the same history teacher. I remember our history teacher being like a big supporter of his. Hey, yo, bro went 4-dimensional. What the fuck? But it's actually insane. You're just watching like 20 millionaires riding around in cars that are worth millions. You know, it's funny. Like growing up, I was always terrible at video games. Out of my friend group, I was always the worst player in any game. So I kind of like gave up on video games and just went outside more. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a break, bro. Need to get some fresh air. Let's step outside for a bit, talk to the chat. Should I start a shrimp farm instead of drone striking? You know, this is what I told my cousin. She was looking into weapons engineering. And I told her, don't do it. I was like, the technology that you create will guaranteed have some child somewhere dying. It's crazy living with that on your conscience. Some people can, and there's no issue to them, but should I work for Lockheed Martin or Azerbaijan Technologies? I think the answer is very clear. You could be on the right side of history, or you could be on the dark side of history. Bro, what's the story behind you and Azerbaijan technology? We need answers. Okay, I'm going to give you like the real story of like how we came up with the whole term and the idea. It's basically just we're putting out these videos, right? This was like maybe 6 months ago. We're putting out these videos. I actively check the comments because the comments are oftentimes a good indication of where people's minds are at, things that people want to see. And there was just one random comment of a kid that said, do something about Azerbaijan technology. And I read it and instantly thought it was just like a funny, interesting sounding term. So I just took it and made a video about it. And then for some reason, people resonated with the name. So then we gradually just start creating the story around everything and putting the characters into it. From there, it kind of just gradually established. But it really was just like one dude who was like, yo, make a video about this. And we did. I've actually given this guy credit too. Chat, you like my hat? You like my dinosaur enthusiast hat? We were just at the Ritz Hotel. We were sitting there and all of a sudden Floyd Mayweather walks out with like his girlfriend and shit and his team. And I look him dead in the eyes and he looks at me. We don't say nothing to each other, but after that, like a few minutes later, I realized how crazy I must have looked with this hat on. You know, I look like some fucking dinosaur enthusiast that has never grown up. That's just randomly sitting there. But that's low-key one of the most goated moments in this week. Maak een video in the Netherlands.
Make a video in the Netherlands?
Bro, I'm telling you, Dutch is just like another way of saying English shit.
Yeah, it looks like a really like terrible English.
That's what people say.
Yeah.
It's like English on drugs or something. That's because like both languages are from the same kind of like language tree. Think like Anglo-Saxon language or some shit. Need you to collab with Merab Dvalishvili. It was actually crazy. He DM'd me. We did a video on him once and he DM'd me and asked me to take it down. He was like, this is not me. This does not represent me. I was like, okay, I'll take it down. But honestly, I don't think it was him. I think it was just like his social media manager because it didn't sound like something he would say. All right, Chad, we're going back into the sim racing spot. We're gonna be racing, so stay tuned. A lot of people ask me for discounts on the clothes and shit, not knowing that you can automatically get a 10% discount on all our shit, like on the website, when you just sign up on the email. All right, let's get to racing, bro. Hey, I race better distracted. I'm hitting flow state.
Imagine you're watching a race and Max Verstappen just sends you a TikTok.
Texting and driving in an F1 car is fucking crazy. First time I was in Azerbaijan, which was for this race like a few months ago. I had not expected it, but the amount of people that just stopped me in the street to take a picture and shit, I was just like, whoa. I didn't know people here really fuck with me like that, but apparently they do. Who inspired me to make music? No one person really inspired me to make music. Around the time I started making music, I was really like into 2008, YMCMB, you know, Young Money, that type of shit. You had like Drake was coming up, Nicki Minaj, Tyga. Those were like the cool artists that you looked up to. I kind of just started making music around that time and gradually started getting into other musical influences as well. All right, Chad, we're going outside. Thank you.
All set? I appreciate it.
Yes. Have a nice evening.
Appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate it.
Sure.
Bye-bye. These guys are so locked in, man. I think this sim racing shit is a very good business model, especially since in the US, F1 racing is becoming more popular. Do you think you're going to start a trend, people making lore to promote their music and clothes? I think so, yeah. We first have to become a bit more successful at it. What we're doing right now is like community in and of itself, but it's not like something that everybody knows about. But once it gets to that level, then you can say that it kind of, you know, has critical mass and it starts influencing other people's strategy. We're not there yet, so. All right, Chad, we'll probably start driving. We're gonna drive back to downtown LA. Are they even open, bro? Yeah, do you have the gyro salad?
And the gyro salad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't wait to eat, I'm so hungry. Yeah, we did not end up going to Waffle House. We went to a nice Middle Eastern spot. Nicaraguan passports. What can we do with that? It's probably one of the lowest ranking passports on earth. You know how much of a blessing it is to have a good passport? There's people that have to apply for a visa for every single country they go to. Bro, did you ever hear of that kid in Indonesia who shot his school up? I think he left a message saying he did it for Agartha. Bro, it's so backwards. Like, how do you fall for white supremacist propaganda and you don't even fit the criteria to be a white supremacist? And then you go and kill people. That's insane, bro. Oh, it was a temple. Yeah, it did actually happen. Yeah, for him. Thank you. Thanks a lot. We're good, thanks. Yeah, this food is great. Next stream is going to be crazy. Probably go skateboarding or design clothing with you guys. And I'll see you guys on the next one, probably in a few days.